Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our post-game women's volleyball press conference. We will start the press conference with an opening statement from head coach Tyler Hildebrand. Then we'll open it up to questions from the media for Coach, along with players Katie Kennedy and Savannah Chacon.
Thank you, Lindy. Once again, a great match by Washington, and they played a good match. A couple of their players had great. Maddie Ensley hit 250 on 48 swings. We couldn't stop her, and so they came in here and we had a good crowd, and they came in and played a great match, and we were better tonight than we were on Sunday at fighting, and even though we obviously weren't our best tonight in many areas, we were still hanging in there. And I just said to the team in the locker room, sports is crazy. I mean, the fact that we had a shot there, and Savannah basically almost scored 6 points in a row on her serve. That's the thing about sports, is there's emotion in it, and even when you're not playing your best, dangle the carrot there of like, hey, we almost have this thing, and it changes. I think it changes our perception going into tomorrow. So that run was really important, that we were able to kind of get there at the end. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, we said it the other day. When we play defense, we're good at Washington junks and tips a lot of balls, and we were on that pretty good. And then they started swinging away at the end of the match. And if we get a few more blocks and a few more turns in transition, then I think the outcome would have been different. But proud of our team for fighting. We've talked about our schedule all year, and we're going to have tough matches every night. And so all of them are different challenges. And, we've done well after a loss responding, and so we lost tonight. So we're excited to play UCLA tomorrow. And UCLA's kind of found their groove, and they played really well tonight. So it'll be a great challenge, and hopefully it'll be a fun night tomorrow night.
Savannah, Coach touched a little bit on that 5-0 scoring run when you were serving back there towards the end of the fourth set. Can you tell us a little bit about what goes on in your mind? What's your mindset during that crucial time of the game?
I think back to one of my teammates one time just said less is more. So as I'm going back to serve, just not trying to end my own run. And just before I was serving, I just kept saying my teammates got me, my teammates got me. So I just kept trying to hit a float and not try and do anything special. And ended up working out pretty well.
Hi. Very competitive game and very back and forth. But despite that, Savannah, you had 29 digs tonight, and that was you broke the record. And I was wondering, not just you but everybody, what was your thoughts on that?
I mean that's always fun to look at on the sheet. Sometimes after a loss, it doesn't always feel like you got that. But I just think there's always areas I could have also been better tonight. So just kind of coming back tomorrow 1% better at what I need to compensate for.
For the team as a whole, it just seemed a lot of fight all night long. 76 digs can sometimes be at least a statistical kind of way to see that. And whether it was blocking, whether it was back row defense, any of you three, can you comment on just the fight that this team had throughout the match?
Yeah, I'll say late in the last set there, I could kind of feel this shift in energy where we started to really believe in ourselves, and we had the fight the whole match, I think, and kind of that grit and determination to keep pushing through, but it just hadn't really been clicking. And then there was little bursts of runs where it started to click a little bit, and we all looked at each other and we could feel it, but I just don't think we could hold it as long as we wanted to with those runs of that fight and scrappy and block touches and all that. So it had its ups and downs, but when we do tap into it, we play really well.
This is something that happened last Friday against Texas, but also kind of felt it at the end of this match, a little bit of magic. You had the support from the fans as well, but how does that feel as a player on the court when you just have one of those things where you can feel magic brewing?
I was on the court in the last couple.
Yeah, I don't know, just going play by play. A lot of the times just trying to like chill out when you can. But yeah, you just feel a lot of support from all areas all around you, so it's a really cool feeling.
Yeah, we just keep saying 1 point at a time. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty common to just repeat that, especially when it gets into the 20s.
Coach, this is a Washington team that had double-digit service aces coming into this match, multiple matches before this. They did have 9, did get 1 under double digits, but it was just a tough passing night because they were a great serving team. Is there any adjustment, or is it just bounce back the next day?
Well, 7 hadn't served much. Pertovsky, she served in their first match, and she served a really high number, and then she didn't serve at all in the next 2. So she obviously caused us a lot of problems, and I think basically made the runs in 2 different sets that were the gap. But yeah, I mean, when you play teams like Washington or UCLA, or basically every night we're going to have for 6 weeks, you gotta expect teams to be good serving teams. And so, you know, tonight I think I thought we passed well, except we gave up too many aces. And one thing we want to do is be able to fight things off, so we can give ourselves a chance. And so another thing we did, something that's a staple of our program that we've come a long way on that we were not good at tonight, was when we're in an out-of-system situation or a bad pass, throw the ball up to the net. And it seemed like Washington was just chucking balls up to the net and teeing off over and over. So it hurts when another team does something that you do really well and you train every day quite a bit better. And we were tentative on that a little bit, and you know, we're working on it. It's a process, and so. But that was a big difference in the game too. They were chucking balls up to the net and making plays, and we were putting our hitters in some tougher situations.
My last question: how do you take this loss and prepare for tomorrow? And like, what do you take from this loss and focus for tomorrow's match and grow from it?
Yeah. Well, like I said, the girls is like, well, we won 1, lost 1, won 1, lost 1. So, you know, hopefully we win 1 tomorrow. But we'll prepare the same way we always do. It's a little bit unique in that we didn't have a day to prepare for UCLA in practice. So, you know, but I mean, that's how it goes sometimes when you're in tournaments. And so, you know, whether you play 2 matches a day or you play 1 a day for 3 days like we are doing now. So, you know, we'll give the girls tonight, and it's pretty late now. So we'll give them tonight, and you know, we already have our report ready for tomorrow, and we'll go over it and serve and pass tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to prepare for a team that's really physical, and we're gonna have to play great defense and make some plays in transition to beat them. So, but I mean, we know that we're good enough when we play our game to compete with the best teams, and so. I think tomorrow night's going to be a great challenge for us, and we'll learn from it either way.
This one maybe for Katie, maybe for a back row player for Savannah as well. But Coach was talking about the opponent being able to go high and outside when they needed to, and that's a very stark difference to what your offense tries to do, right? And how challenging can it be for a blocker to try and time those very high balls going outside?
Yeah, well, like you mentioned, I think in the first couple sets, they were doing what we do a lot, which is low at the block. They were pushing it through, and honestly, that is a little bit more frustrating, and it was kind of the first time, I think, this year that we had felt that. I said in the locker room in between the second and third set, like, we're getting a taste of our own medicine. How are we going to respond to this? And then, like you said, they kind of started swinging more in the last 2 sets. And that it was a little frustrating because we pride ourselves in going up really big and trying to press over when there is a high ball and they're taking rips. So, yeah, it was challenging. But I think we'll be able to respond and use that frustration a little bit for tomorrow's game and be able to shut some hitters down.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lindy.